Good morning, one and all, and good up, Liam, in the chat. Yeah. Right. Okay. What I want to do today is I'm going to have a little waffle, a little chat. Get stuff off me chest, really, and then I'm going to open up the live chat. We'll have a little chat. We'll start with football. We'll probably end up discussing biscuits or Nando's. Nando's will probably be the topic of the day a little bit later on. But I want to draw a line under this Sebastien Haller thing, and the way I want to do that is something that myself and Gio stumbled across on when we were doing our Patreon podcast the other day, the mug of tea, and it was something that just sort of popped into my head, and I've had a little bit of research on it, so I want to discuss. It's quite how wasteful West Ham compared to other clubs are in terms of their record signing. I'm going to go later on. I'll go to the chat. I've just seen Irish Tommy in there, Thunder of Joy, John Corbett, Farmer Chris, Andy, Mighty Badger, the mightiest of all the Badgers is Mighty Badger. Tommy, we'll link up later, mate, and we'll get a video up for tomorrow, my friend. Bobby66, how are you, mate? Right, okay. I'm going to ignore the chat for a little bit and come back to it later. Otherwise, it distracts me. Right. I think we can all agree that West Ham are pretty bad with their transfers, and in particular with their record transfers. Now, when I looked at it, and I've done a video recently, and I think you can chart this back to Matt Jarvis and before. I'm really dealing with Sullivan and Gold's reign here. Matt Jarvis, we like him, but it didn't really work out. If you remember, we were bringing him in, spent 13 million, I believe it was, from Wolves. And because at the time he'd just broken into the England team and he had the best crossing stats, do you remember that, of anybody in the Premier League? It just didn't work out for him. Nice guy, didn't work out for him. We spent big, I think 17 million on Andy Carroll, but you've got to factor in we'd spent over 2 million on loan fees the season before. I'll let you lot decide whether you think Andy Carroll worked out or not. I don't. It was a lot. It was a lot of money. We paid him a lot of wages. I think overall, the transfer and the wages, you're looking at about 60 million. I'll leave you lot to decide whether you think we've got 60 million value out of Andy Carroll. What it goes to highlight, and here's my point, is that our record signings, we don't do very well at. We then went and bought Andre Ayew. 20 million was our record signing again. It just didn't work out for different reasons. I mean, you know, you can go into each one individually as much detail as you want. It didn't work out for Andre Ayew. I felt he fell between the margins as a player. Was he a striker? No. Was he a winger? No, not really. You'd probably play him as almost like a number 10 in many respects. But at that time, we had Payet and we had Lanzini and we had players to play in those positions. So sort of what was the point, really? It didn't work out. And then you get into more recent times, and the Felipe Anderson saga, it hasn't worked out. I don't care what anyone says, and it's quite clear that we've wasted and lost an awful lot of money on Sebastien Haller. Now, you know this because I sort of did this in a video the other day, but what I stumbled across when I was speaking to Gio on the mug of tea was, I said, I think you'd probably look, if you looked at other clubs, we're not isolated. I said, I'd imagine if you look at other clubs, their record signings might not have all worked out. And this is not to say that West Ham have done well. I'm not saying West Ham have done well here, but comparatively, actually, lots of people have done badly. And this is really my point on this. So I'm just going to go through a few of them now. I'm working off NBC Sports website here, which obviously it's a US website, and it's in dollars. But we'll go with dollars, and I'll let you do the rest. The gist is the same. It gives you the same vibe, right? So I'm going to go through some record signings here and just work out whether they've been successful or whether they haven't been successful. And I just wonder if we might look at things a little bit differently then afterwards. Not to say that it's been good, it's bad. Massive losses. And I want to go into the figures on Sebastien Haller in just a bit, because it looks like the net sale, after we've paid everything off, the net sale of Snodgrass and Sebastien Haller, including wages, will yield us about £20 million in savings. They're not overall savings. That's once we've already paid Frankfurt sort of 25 million or whatever. So we're still dealing with losses. But I think selling Haller and selling Snodgrass puts about 20 million into the kitty. That may include wages as well. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, let's just go for a few record signings. Paul Pogba is Manchester United's record signing. Now, he's a good player, but has it really worked out for him in terms of when you pay that sort of money, which as I think it was about 90 million, it says $108 million, but I remember it being about 90 million. You really want the best player in the world, don't you? Let's be fair, if you're paying that. I don't think it's worked out. I think if Manchester, I think here's a question: if we could have our time again, if we could sign Sebastien Haller again, would we do it? No. Okay, if we could sign Felipe Anderson again and at our time again, had a time machine, a TARDIS, would we go back and sign him? No, we wouldn't go back and sign Felipe Anderson. Would Manchester United sign Paul Pogba? No. Harry Maguire, they may do. Romelu Lukaku, $97 million. Probably not. It didn't really work out for them. Chelsea's was Virgil van Dijk, a massive success. I think sorry, not Chelsea. Chelsea to sign Virgil van Dijk. If there's any Chelsea fans watching, they probably got all excited then. Hey, we've signed an injured Virgil van Dijk. No, Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk. It's worked out for him. A good signing. Here's Chelsea's. Kepa, I'm going to name his name. Kepa Arrizabalaga. Huh? Good? Arrizabalaga. Kepa Arrizabalaga. $91 million. What a failure. He's useless. He is useless. My 6-year-old can catch a ball better than he can. All right? And he's stroppy and moody, and they got rid of him. They've replaced him. That's their record signing. A whopping failure. Arsenal's record signing. Pepe. Nick Pepe. $88 million. It's hard to, with the currency, but you get it. You get what I mean. It's a lot of money. If they could have their time again, would they sign Pepe? No, they wouldn't. Again, your record signing really should be the best player at the club in the last 10 years or something. You can't go back. You can't say at West Ham, our record signing, Sebastien Haller, has got to be better than Bobby Moore. That doesn't make sense, but they've got to be the best signing. West Ham spent £43 million. He's got to be the best signing. He's got to, let's be fair, he's got to be as good as Payet. Right? That's what it really should be. When you're spending that sort of money, you're expecting world class. You really are. And we didn't really get it. Or close to world class, breaking into world class. So yeah, Pepe, I don't think Arsenal would sign Pepe. Manchester City, Rodri, $80 million. Yeah, it's probably been okay. They also signed Riyad Mahrez for $77 million. He's probably done okay. Maybe it suggests that Man City are a bit better buying players than most. Fancy that. I'll give you another one for Chelsea. Alvaro Morata. $75 million. I don't remember it being 55 million quid at the time. Massive failure. Alvaro Morata. They couldn't even flog him on much. They had to put him out on loan and stuff like that. And City signed Cancelo again, Laporte. They're not bad players. They signed Raheem Sterling. I think it's City spend money quite well, don't they? Let's be fair. But they spend lots of it. And looking back at Mahrez, it almost doesn't matter if Mahrez doesn't work out, does it? Let's be fair, because someone else will work out. They spend a lot of money. Bernardo Silva works out, or whatever. It sort of doesn't matter really for them. Aubameyang for Arsenal was a good signing, you'd have to say. Alisson for Liverpool. So some teams do it well. I'll give you one now. $68 million, which I think was just shy of 50 million quid at the time. Tungai Ndombele for Tottenham. That is a lot of money for Tottenham. Over 50 million quid, or just whatever, around 50 million quid for Tottenham. Wasted money. If they could go back, and I like him, by the way, but he's been there over 2.5 years now, and he's not really done anything. He's only started to come good now. So if they had their chance again, would they do it again? I'd imagine they'd probably buy someone else. Gylfi Sigurdsson was £48 million. Gylfi Sigurdsson. Has he provided Everton £48 million worth of stuff? No. Yuri Tillemans was a good one for Leicester. Here's one. Watford. This is a whopper, by the way. Ismaila Sarr for £34 million. Now, Ismaila Sarr is basically the same price as Felipe Anderson was for us. Oh, I'll tell you what, you look at it, it's almost must have crippled them. I'll get a terrible signing for Watford. So that hasn't worked out. Joe Linton for Newcastle was that? 37 million. 37 million. Joe Linton for Newcastle. A whopping great failure. Again, I just want to reiterate, because I know there's people joining all the time. You're very welcome. I'm not saying this to justify what West Ham. West Ham have lost lots of money. Bad transfers. Really bad transfers. But I'm just saying we're not the only ones. That's my point. Sometimes you can view West Ham as a bubble. Actually, we're not. Watford have done useless. Newcastle have done useless. Everton are wasting money. That's Gylfi Sigurdsson, a Wobie. You'd have to say they wasted a lot of money. On Dembele, a waste of money. Christian Benteke, £30 million. £30 million. The guy didn't score a goal for a year. Bournemouth, Jefferson Lerma, £24 million. A lot of money for Bournemouth. Now, while I said earlier on about Sebastien Haller, that when you spend 42 million pound on a player, you want them to be world class. I understand that when you spend 24 million pounds on a player, you don't expect him to be world class. But when you're Bournemouth and you spend 24 million pound on a young up and coming, the best young player in the France, whatever it is, under 21 team, I don't know about it, but you get my gist. You want a bit more. It's failed. And I look at these. Actually, Vestergaard has worked out for Southampton. He's been a good signing, but Southampton do sort of buy well. There's one coming, which is an absolute whopper, by the way. Wesley for Aston Villa, he's failed. He's not even in the team, and they spent 25 million on this guy, and they've had to. He was so bad, they had to replace him with Ollie Watkins for 28 million. I mean, this is bad. There's a lot of teams who are terrible at their top size of record signings. Ollie McBurney, 20 million. Sheffield United, Swansea. Geezer can't score a goal. Honestly, couldn't hit a barn door. Literally couldn't hit a barn door. And when you look at these big Kepa Arrizabalaga, Paul Pogba, Nicolas Pepe, Alvaro Morata, Ndombele, Sigurdsson, Joe Linton, Sarr, Benteke, Lerma, Wesley. You just start to appreciate that actually there's a load of teams who are useless, absolutely useless at signing players, and I just find it amazing. As I say, I want to reiterate this. I'm not saying this is justification at West Ham. I think we've been useless, but I just wonder why are people not more prudent? Why are people not more diligent with their money? I find it absolutely amazing that this is the case. I mean, it really is. It's crazy, and those are the first ones that I pulled up there, and that's my point. We sort of operate in a bubble, and I'd imagine that if you go to Everton and you were on like the Everton, whatever the Everton equivalent of Hammers Chat is, right? But if you were on the Everton TV or whatever the case may be, I'd imagine they're whinging about Gylfi Sigurdsson. I'd imagine they're whinging about Alex Iwobi. I do certainly Palace to be whinging about Christian Benteke. That being said, I quite like him as a player. I don't think they got the best out of him. But there's a lot of good players there. I wouldn't mind betting that Watford would be saying if we hadn't wasted that money, wow, 30.5 million basically on Ismail Assar. If we'd have done better there, we probably would have stayed up. Wouldn't mind betting at Bournemouth. Think if they had spent Jefferson Lerma money better, they would have stayed up. I wonder, penny for Sheffield United's folks, £20 million on a striker that can't score. I mean, this is crazy money. So yeah, I don't mean West Ham are good. I mean, lots of people are bad. But it does see it. I do look at it and I think, yeah, okay. You look at it, you think Manchester City can spend money. You do look at Liverpool, Van Dijk and Alisson. You think your two record signings you've got bang on, and if you get your record signings bang on, you're going to have to. You're gonna progress. I'm just sorry. I said I wouldn't look at the chat until I've finished my little rant there. This LG is in the chat. My eye just caught it. He said this all emphasises the need to have some sort of scouting structure in place. Can't understand how owners don't see this. If done properly, they will save the club money. I mean, this is exactly right there. This is the big money. This is not a £5 million punt on Vladimir Soufal, who's on very, very low wages. You've got to factor in all these players that I've mentioned here, be it Pogba, Ndombele, Sigurdsson, Lerma, Benteke. These, not only will they be the club's record signings, they're going to be on the highest wages. So it's not just the figures. You're committing yourself to a long-term financial commitment here. Whereas when you buy a player like Vladimir Soufal, I think I don't know. We never know. But I think he's on about 30 grand a week. I think he's very happy with that because I don't think he was on a third of that in the Czech Republic. So he's gone. he's gone on to earn money basically that is going to change his life. And so, look, good on him on that, but it doesn't impact the club. It's not giving the club a massive liability, whereas these are. And the losses, I'm just going to pull up the I want to pull up this this article that Sean's done. I think it's today, about Sebastien Haller and the figures. And it's depressing. It's depressing reading, but you know what? He's not dressed it up as anything. It's okay. So I'll read it to you now. Sebastien Haller was sold for 20.2 million to Ajax. West Ham will receive just 4 million up front, then 4 more payments of 4 million over the next 4 years. So we've sold it for 20.2 million. Let's call it 20 million. They're going to pay that over 4 years. Robert Snodgrass was sold for 100 grand. I don't mind so much. I sort of understand it. He had no time left on his contract. He's at the end of his career. We didn't, we did pay money for him, but you know what I mean. West Ham still owe Frankfurt 11.5 million. Okay, so the net income for both Snodgrass, and Haller is 8.8 million. Just let that sink in for a minute. Haller and Snodgrass's wages are 155,000 per week, which equates to over 8 million a year off the wage bill. Snodgrass only had 6 months left on his contract, so we've saved about £1 million on Snodgrass. Haller had 180 weeks left, which is about 20 minutes. We saved 20 million on wages. Right, now basically, David Moyes will now be able to reinvest the net income of transfers and wages into improving the squad. Now, I don't know how you read that. I read that as we might be able to buy a £20 million player. But it's still a massive loss. And here's the point, right? Here's the point. When we sold Sebastien Haller, it shouldn't have afforded us to be able to go and buy a £20 million player. So it's a massive loss. It should have afforded us the ability to go and buy a £50 million player. However, all I'm saying is, you look down that list that I just read out of all of those Emden Bellets, Ollie McBurney's, and all the Jefferson Lerma, Christian Benteke, all those clubs have lost on them. Doesn't make it any better for West Ham, but it does put it into context that actually most of us, with the exception of about 3 clubs, are bloody useless at recruiting players. Here's what I think, though, and I did want to draw a line under this, right? I did want to draw a line under this. I am aware David Moyes has said some stuff today. We'll get onto it. Dave texted me earlier, and I can see a couple of things popping up in the chat, which will not turn my attention fully to. We'll talk about your questions and your comments on West Ham in just a second. Then we'll probably end up talking about food. This is what normally happens, right? But so if we've got £20 million to spend on a striker, I still think, despite everything that we've done wrong, and it's numerous, there's no praise. There's nothing good to come out of losing 30 million, which is what we've done, by the way. There's no good to come out of that. It doesn't make you feel any better that everybody else is equally useless as you. However, the little bit of promise I do have, and it's something I said the other day, I look at Bowen, I look at Souček, I look at Soufal, I look at Ben Rama, and think actually we seem to be getting a little bit better at this. I think there's more value in spending almost 20 million than you get for spending all these big bucks. The money never should have been spent on Haller, and I think particularly Anderson. Here's a one. I'm going off on a tangent here, but I think we have more chance of seeing Sebastien Haller. I bloody hope they've done a sell-on clause in this, by the way. I think we have more chance of seeing Sebastien Haller on our television screens banging in goals for Ajax than we do seeing Felipe Anderson going and playing for another club and playing really well. I almost get this nasty sinking feeling that we're seeing the end of Felipe Anderson's career at 27. I don't mean he won't ever sign for a club again, but I think you'll see Sebastien Haller in the Champions League highlights, stuff like that. What Ajax go and play, Wolfsburg or whatever the case may be. Sebastien Haller will be in the highlights package. Ajax against Sevilla. Oh, Sebastien Haller scored a goal. There won't be a massive surprise there. I don't think the same is true. So I think in that respect, I think the Felipe Anderson the Felipe. We didn't suit Sebastien Haller's style of play. He's a touch player, wants to be in and around the box, wants a lot of service, doesn't do what we want to do, which is run around a lot and pull wide and stuff like that. But he's still a good player in there. I look at Felipe Anderson. I think he's gone. He's gone. I do anyway. Those are just my feelings. Too. I mean, Kale has just said he can go to Brazil. Felipe Anderson, I'm not sure. Brazil got some wonderful up and coming players. I'm not sure he gets into many teams over there. I don't know. I'd be interested to hear from Daniel. He used to send us the videos from Brazil. What was I going to say? Okay, but however, I do see only one positive in this, having laboured the negatives, and I do want to draw a line under it, as I say. I do think that if we can spend £20 million on a player, and we can spend 20 million like we spent 20 million on Jared Bowen, or like we spent whatever it was, 18 million on Souček, I think it improves the squad. I do, because I think Sebastien Haller did nothing for the squad in many respects. I don't, because I don't think he suited us. I think one more player who is ready to come into the first team, it helps massively. It means we don't have to change. I'm not talking about formation. I'm talking about style and the pace of our play. It means when Antonio's not in the team, we don't have to change the pace of our play. Now, I'm working on the assumption that we're not going to sign Olivier Giroud, by the way. But I do think, this is what I said the other day, I'm actually quite excited for Sebastien Haller to leave, because once you put all the financials aside, I think it gives us an opportunity to actually get a little bit better as a team. And I'm excited to see who we bring in. Now, I am aware, I want to get onto this, and then I'll start reading from the chat in just a second. And thank you for everybody for joining me on Saturday. You could be watching Everton instead. You probably are. Maybe you've got this on your phone and you're watching Everton play. I am very, very much aware that David Moyes has said today something along the lines of actually, do you know what? Never mind that. Dave actually texted me, and Dave. Let's have a look what David Boy has said, so I get the words absolutely right. Where are we? Okay, so he said, we've now created room to bring players in. I think obviously what he means is we got rid of players. And I think he was asked, have you got anyone lined up? He said, no, not really, but we'll try and find the right players to bring in. So that appears that David Moyes is saying we've created some space in the squad, we're going to bring some players in. The surprising thing, and the thing that obviously is going to worry people, is that he said, I don't know. He's more or less said, I don't know. We haven't got anyone in mind. We're going to try and bring players in. I don't believe that for a second. That's tarring David Moyes with the Sullivan brush. I don't think that's the case. David Moyes would have known for a long, long time that Sebastien Haller did not fit his system. David Moyes would have said to David Sullivan, over the last month or two, I can't work with this. You've got to get him out of here. I bet David Sullivan has probably turned around to David Moyes and said, we're going to take a massive loss on this guy if I try and sell him. But David Moyes said, I don't care. I can't use him. He doesn't fit my system. At the point that David Moyes has said, I want Haller out, and I think we can all agree that's happened. Haller has not been sold. In spite, they've not done a Kirbishley on him. They've not sold players that he wanted to keep. Everybody would have known that was the case. And if you agree with that, then there's no way David Moyes doesn't have a list in his mind of 3, 4, 5 players that he wants to bring in. Maybe, just maybe, remember the video I did the other day about France's television deal collapsing? Maybe that has muddied the waters somewhat. Maybe all of a sudden, I remember I said in that video that the television deal has collapsed. And I said, Canal Plus, we're going to go and offer them a third of the money. That still hasn't happened. So actually, at present, there is no TV deal in France. None. Those teams are not getting money. Not getting money through the turnstiles, not getting money from television. French clubs are a month or two away from going bankrupt, and lots of them are. I wonder if that's changed the dynamic slightly, that suddenly it's a little bit ruthless, a little bit unscrupulous, but they're looking and they're thinking, hold on, there's rich pickings to be having over there. But I'd be gobsmacked. And I mean gobsmacked. It would be the height of incompetence if we hadn't number one, identified those players, and number two, tapped them up. Look, yeah, I know what I'm saying. I did notice. I was having a little thing with Nando's yesterday. Managed to get some chicken in the end. I had a little thing with Nando's yesterday, so I was on Twitter a little bit, and I posted, "Oh, blimey! Hey, thank you, Journey. Journey for Life has just donated £2 to the Nando's Fund. Thank you very much, my friend. Very kind, and you're very welcome. I enjoy doing the daily videos anyway. By the way, particularly seeing as we're locked up. But I was on Twitter yesterday, and I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you the story afterwards. But I was on Twitter a little bit, and I noticed that some people were annoyed that Sebastien Haller had been tapped up. Sebastien Haller alluded to the fact that he knew for a little while that he was going to join Ajax. And there were some people, thinking, hold on a second, this represents an illegal approach and all the rest of it. It probably does, but I couldn't be indignant about it because I hope we're approaching clubs illegally as well in that way. Everybody does it. FIFA made a rule. I think we're disadvantaged. Slim Reaper, I'll deal with that in just a second, by the way, because I'll deal with that in a second. We're disadvantaged if we don't tap players up. So I can't be annoyed with Ajax for doing it to Sebastien Haller. This is where we get it wrong. I think sometimes we don't do that and we go and bid for a player like that to Letazar or whatever, and then he turns around and says, "Oh, I don't want to come." We've had a few times or whatever. Tarkowski, we kept on bidding for him. We should have just spoken to his agent first, by the way. So I would hope that there are a number of players who we've already approached and said, "Do you fancy coming to West Ham and replace Sebastien Haller?" We're a very different proposition now, by the way. Last time we tried it, all these players, Tarkowski included, saw us as relegation team. We're not a relegation team. We should be able to attract better players now. I just want to get on to what Slim Reaper said. They said, "Gonzo, do you see TV deals collapsing over here? It could happen to the EPL." I tell you what I see as a massive difference, and the same I see with excuse me. A llama. I think it's a llama. The massive difference I see over here to France is it's pure commercialism, it's pure market forces. They have competition over here. We'll get a TV deal. The French football, they were overpaying for a product that wasn't really watched worldwide. That's firstly. It was a relatively new Chinese broadcaster as well who bought the rights. So they collapsed. They could never really afford it. It was similar to the ITV Digital, if you remember over here, in the Championship cards, I think it was, and it just collapsed. There wasn't a great desire to watch French football. Premier League's very different, but also, look, if you sell something on eBay, right? Sometimes you sell it and it gets to whatever 2-3 days left. You've got one watcher and one bid. You think, that's it. I'm getting. Oh, this is all I'm getting. What you want are a load of watchers and a load of bids. So you've got 4 or 5 different bidders, and then you think, it gets to the last day here, that price is going to go up in the last 15 minutes of the eBay auction. This is what you have with the Premier League. The Premier League has got Sky, who can't rest on their laurels. Sky have not done themselves a favour. Sky have asked for a rebate back of 380 million quid, which they got. I don't know why they got it. Sky, I don't know why they got it. Sky got just as much football. In fact, Sky ended up with more football. I don't know why they got a rebate. But anyway, so that one's. If I was a Premier League, I would not be looking at Sky favourably after doing that. You've got Sky, you've got BT, and you've got Amazon. Now, I'll tell you what, Amazon haven't got poorer during all this pandemic. They've got richer and they've got bigger. Then you've also got, I heard a whisper the other day, the online network, DAZN, apparently they were interested in bidding as well. You've got a lot of players involved in that. Wouldn't be surprised to see NudeTube. Hey, that's a good one. I'm not on NudeTube. You'll be pleased to know. No one wants to see the old Baps. Baps, chaps, waps, chaps, the old chaps. Anyway, the man boobs. I think there are others as well. Al Jazeera have been rumoured to be looking at the rights. I mean, we have massive competition basically, and I think they're going to get, even if it's not the same, I think they will get a roughly similar amount because a lot of people know the value of Premier League football. So no, I don't see the same situation happening. Definitely not. We're not in the same situation as the French League at all. Right. Anyway, thank you for joining. I'm not going. I'm not going up just yet. I'm gonna have a look at the chat, see what you're all saying, and I'm sure you're all saying lots and lots and lots. So, LG said like to see us sign a striker in this window, and then get King on a pre-contract agreement for the summer. Oh, we need to sign a striker. We need to sign him now. Kent says Amazon is coming up on the rails. Watch them get more football. It's bound to happen. Yeah, I mean this is what I think is the case, and they haven't done a bad job. Whenever I've watched it, it works. I'm always worried about streaming. Do you know Absterdabs? That's a good name. Absterdabs. Do you know about Dia? Yes, I do. He looks good. He looks good. I'm quite excited to see this kid. Want to get into these targets in a second. Actually, have a little talk about them. Nick H has donated $7.99. Thank you, Nick. You are a very kind man. He says, I'm from Australia, so I'm slightly unaware of the situation in the UK, but do you think the Prem will be cancelled soon? Thanks for the donation, Nick. It's he's unaware of the situation. Okay, things have got a little bit worse in the last 24 hours in the UK. Let me just try and stop that chat there a second. In the last 24 hours, things have changed slightly, somewhat. The mayor of London has turned around and said they have a major incident, and coronavirus. He's basically used really strong language. Coronavirus is out of control. And hospitals are overrun. I mean, that's strong language. And I don't regardless of what, he's a divisive character, the old London mayor, regardless of what you think about him. He's a politician and he will try and choose his words carefully. Those are strong words for a politician to use, and he will know the gravity of them. So things are getting worse here. However, the Premier League are at pains to try and prove that they can do it clean. And they're trying to bring in some new rules. I don't know if you remember Lanzini last week. He was pictured at a party with a lot of Tottenham players. I think it was a New Year's party or a Christmas party. It wasn't just Tottenham players, it was all their families. They looked in the picture. There was 20, 25 people. And I think the Premier League want to stamp out on that and bring in rules for anybody that breaks it, because they want to show the government, look, the Premier League can do it clean and our testing is very good. I've got a friend, he might even be watching, he's a Crystal Palace fan, but he's a good friend of mine. He may even be tuning in. He gets tests at the moment, and he can get his test because of what he's doing. He's a key worker and what he does. He gets a test and he gets results in half an hour. And I think the Premier League is running a similar thing. I think they get tested very, very quickly. So hopefully it can keep up and keep running. But thank you for the donation, mate. It's very kind of you. Tommy, I'll tell you what, Tommy, we'll have a little link up. We're going to get a video up probably tomorrow. Let's deal with this, mate. I'll save your question. We'll jump on a video and we'll do a bit of that, my friend, and you can tell us what you think of Diop. Right, where else have we got here? Do you think we should storm GSB like USA? We're a little bit more reserved. I say we're not reserved, are we? Riots over here and everything, don't we? But no. Anyway, and David Gold will probably just take off in his helicopter as well. And yeah. Anyway, Peach says bring Silver back. I wonder if he means money. He means the striker. Howdy Hammers. Hi Gonzo. Am I too late? No, you're not, Sketch. You are right on time. You might have to rewind and see the start of the show. That was all I basically spent the start of the show listing everybody else's record signings, and you'll be comforted slightly to know, mate, that that everyone else has wasted lots of money as well, be it Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Everton, Crystal Palace, Watford, Manchester United. Lots of teams completely screw up their record signing and lose a ton of money. But there we go. It's just looking. Sam Green says, just look at Bayern's Champions League winning side last year. I believe the most they paid for a player in that squad was around 20 million. Is that so? Just some people are just better at spending money than others. And I don't just mean in football. By the way, on that one. Kent says Pellegrini wasted so much money on rubbish due to the club not scouting properly and having a proper ethos at the club. Moyes would never have wasted that. Look, I don't think Moyes is going to have the money to spend that Pellegrini did, so he's got to be more crafty. He's got to be more careful. I think the big thing about Pellegrini, yes, you're right. These players, and which is why Tommy wanted to throw Diop in there, but these players like Sebastien Haller and and Felipe Anderson, who were brought in under Pellegrini's reign. I think the real silly thing about all of that was just purely because we had a director of football who was brought in by the manager himself. And the manager's son was employed as a scout. Pellegrini's was it Juan Pellegrini? You know what I'm like. I'm like with names. Probably neither. And Hugh Silos's son, Juan Hugh Silos. I don't know if it was Juan. Mickey, Tommy Hugh Silos. Whoever it was, they both employed their sons. So even with that collective knowledge of the game, they still couldn't get the transfers right. And that's a bit of a worry about that. Bayern can attract whoever they want. Yeah, I mean that's true, John. That is true. But I would say that we are in a better position now. We're not the start of the season relegation, West Ham. We are more attractive. Not as attractive as Bayern Munich with their Underhalsen on, but we are in our own sort of Speedos type of way. We are more attractive than we were at the start of the season. We're a mid-table team, this is why I think Allardyce is. Well, I brought Snodgrass in. Allardyce is going to struggle to attract players because he's going to look at the league. They're going to look at the points. And they're going to look at what West Brom have done thus far, and players are going to think, I don't fancy that. I'm not. Players are going to know they're signing up for six months in the Premier League, then they're going down, and I don't think anybody wants that. They might have viewed West Ham like that before, but not now. So West Ham can now have got a little bit more about them. That's what I think. One-legged Steve-O, hello, my friend. I've got your second email, by the way. I will reply to you later on, but nice to hear from you, mate. And we will get that running, my friends. Abs the Dabs. This is my favourite name of the day, actually. It says here in East London, hospitals are filling up. It's really bad. Ambulances are getting thousands of calls per day. Yeah, Absy boy, Absy baby. My wife works in hospital. Everyone knows this. Everyone's that again. Yes, it's tough. It's tough, mate. It's tough at the moment. Right, okay. Acid Joke says Kent Hammer's so important. We now start buying with a sensible, sustainable future in mind. Well, he's absolutely right. Stephen Pilgrim. Gonzo, if we bring in only one striker and he's young and he's going to have a massive pressure on his shoulders, that could backfire. So, do you know what? And now it's bloody jumped to the bottom. Not you. It's not your. The chat's jumped right to the bottom. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, no, there it is. It could backfire, but we do have an old squad. I can't remember. There's someone will bring the stat up. We got one of the oldest average. The average age is bad. All right, we need to bring it down. That needs to be done. It doesn't mean there's a difference between a young striker who's never played before and a young striker who might have had 50, 100, professional appearances. I think there's a balance there. A young striker that's already played 2 seasons in a top flight. I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine. I like the look of the boy. I like the look of the boy, old Adam Hlosek. I keep saying that. I'd love to think we could sign him. He looks really, really good. I think Moyes is sensible enough for the money from Haller to go and get us a better striker than Haller. Look, it's not. Yes, I agree. It's not necessarily about being a better striker than Haller. It's a different striker than Haller who works better for our team. Vinay says Nicky, West Ham fan team, has a theory that Haller thought he could do telekinesis to the ball, so he did not run. Yeah, I mean, he did run. He just wasn't very fast at it. I think he's just a touch player, and he basically wanted the ball up to him to flick it off and then turn, and then I think it will suit him at Ajax. Actually, it wasn't working for us. Apparently Bayern did spend money. Anyway, whatever. Hello, Gary. Hope you well. Gary says evening, mate. Gary, what have you done? What are you doing? What do you mean evening? It's not evening. Where are you? In fact, unless you've moved. Gary, have you moved? Is it evening? I'll say good evening. I don't think you are. I think you're still in London, mate. And yeah, he said, would you be happy if we got one striker and gave Rice and Moyes a new contract? Yes. Sketch. Sorry, I call him Sketch. Schizo Base says, is there any credible news on new signings? He's in Ireland. It's not evening in Ireland, is it, by the way? I wouldn't say credible news. I think they want to stop the news. I'm going to just reiterate what I said. It's been a long time since we got a massive heads up on a transfer, and we knew ages before. These things have happened quick, and we've not had much notice on it. No notice no notice on Souček. I mean, really, before he signed. In terms of Soufal, hardly any notice on that. I mean, Bowen was different. It's not like somebody said West Ham were definitely going to sign Bowen. I had lots of people saying West Ham should sign Ollie Watkins, Bowen, Benrahma, Eze for West Ham, and West Ham are interested in these players. There's very different to a generalised group of players who West Ham should sign and actually go in and sign in one. So actually, anybody saying we are in talks to sign Bowen, I mean, it happened earliest 2 days before, something like that. There wasn't a lot. So my point is, I don't think there is going to be any credible news on signing. I really, really don't. For those of you who joined, loads of you have joined. Earlier on in the video, I went through a list of players, which is why you're probably thinking I'm taking from the chat now. Earlier on, I went through a list of players, record signings at other clubs who have also done equally badly. That was the gist of it. I went through for their people, not just West Ham, spend badly on their record signings. Paul Pogba, Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea, 91 million. Unbelievable. Alvaro Morata at Chelsea. These are crazy. Crazy things, actually. Ndombele at Tottenham, Gylfi Sigurdsson, Joe Linton at Newcastle, Ismail Assar, £34 million. Unbelievable. Christian Benteke, Jefferson Lerma, Wesley at Aston Villa, Ollie McBurney, £20 million for a striker that can't score. That was just what the start of the video was about. If you wanted to go back and watch it, if you don't have to now. You've just heard basically what I said earlier. It's basically we waste money, and so do lots of other teams as well. Journey for Life said, I still think 22 years of Diop, he needs more time on loan. I tell you what, I think you might need some time on loan. I think you benefit from playing for a team for a year. But what you can't do when you're a team of West Ham sides is spend £23 million on a player and send him out on loan. West Ham spent £23 million on a player. He's got, not only has he got to have a big part to play in the squad, he's really should be playing in the team. Steve Pellegrini, absolutely. Haller did not play himself knowingly in the later stages. I think what you're trying to say there is he didn't put himself out, and he knew he was going to be off. And I agree with that. No one's talking about what would happen if Rice gets sold. It could be a crisis. I mean, to be fair, Paul, I think they have, and I think they will. It's just this is the news story at the moment, mate. And I think that's the thing. I think every West Ham fan is concerned. It's just the Haller stuff is current, and it's a bigger story. I mean, yeah, that wouldn't be good at all. He's been so good for West Ham, hasn't he? Right, sorry, it's all skipped to the bottom. I'm sorry, I can't. This bloody. It's a good question, actually. He said, George Mayer says, is Hlosek a striker or a winger? I think you're seeing a bit of both from the clips that I've seen. So I think he's a big guy, but he's fast enough, and he pulls out wide. He looked a little bit like what's his name? Brent Haaland. Is that his name? Burnt Haaland. He's the crispy one. What's his name? Actually, don't put it in the chat, otherwise it will just clog up the. It'll just anyway. Whatever. Whatever. I think he looks a bit like Haaland, the one at Borussia Dortmund. But he has the ability to pull out wide as well, which I do think is what we want our striker to do. Here we go. Lincoln thinks Gary's drunk, which is why he's saying good evening. So Ken Hammer says, Haller, Yarmolenko, Sanchez, Anderson, Diop, decent signers, but that was only one. Pellegrini did tactical design, so blah, 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 blah. Absolutely right. Irish Tommy says, if we have genuine interest in this Czech lad, we'd better get him sharpish as he has eyes on him. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we need to move. We can't hang about. But I think I just cannot believe that we are not already in negotiation with players. I can't think that this is the perfect time. There's been a nice break between the last Premier League game and the next one. Now is the time to buy the player. Ben says, hey, Gonzo, how's it going? Have you seen... I don't know. What are you saying? I don't even know what you're saying. Well, firstly, I'm going well. I don't know what you're asking there, though, mate, I'm afraid. I said, he said he wants us to sign a Dean Ashton type striker. To be fair, I did read that. You said that in a comment the other day, didn't you, as well? Not too many of them around, I think. The thing I'd say about Ashton was brilliant. Ashton wasn't particularly quick. I really think now is an opportunity. I know 20 million to spend on a player ain't a lot, but it's 20 million pound. I think if all we've got is 20 million pound to spend on a player, I want him to be a quick player. Okay, that's what I want. I think it's very, very important. I think it's important to the dynamic of the team. Slim Reaper says against Leeds saw how slow and laboured Haller was. The players kept trying to push him. I almost read that as punish him. Get a move on. But he wasn't ever up for it. He wasn't up for a punishment, was he? To be fair, no. I mean, a few people have said they felt that that people stopped passing him the ball. I could sort of see that. You know, they try and go it on their own and whatnot. I think that's sort of right, really. James said in his video yesterday, didn't he? 4-0's the only success from the Pellegrini era. Yeah. Well, Fabianski, I guess, as well. But they would. But I'm nitpicking. The gist of what you're saying is right. Most of them failed, didn't they? Particularly the big money ones. Do you think Sullivan uses his 6 dungeons to get transfers done? Abs to Dabs. I don't know about this dungeon. If he does, I'm not sure how successful it is. Although Sebastien Haller did look like by the end of it, he had a hard time, didn't he? To be fair, it's a nasty thought, isn't it? Let's be fair. Did he mean Tenet? Did he mean Tenet? Sorry, can I just say this? I'm going to digress now. There's a film at the moment called Tenet. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know. I watched it. I don't understand. There's a bit of time travel. I'm normally quite good with the old time travel. I don't mean I can do it. I don't mean I can travel in, so I'm not a Time Lord. I don't understand what the film was about. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Made no sense at all. Discovery of Witches is back on now. Those second series, quite like that. Anyway, where are we? Our losses are deductible, but as the contract is written down, it's do you know what, John? The thing is, whether they're deductible, whether they're not, it's bloody bad business practice. I tell you what, to keep losing money from, and they'll keep doing it. I mean, particularly at a time we're losing money anyway, because there's no fans in and all the rest of it. Moyes said he wanted to stop these leaks from coming out of the club, so I'd definitely say a striker was on the cards. Slim, it's exactly what I feel as well. I expect Moyes to go in there and to say, I don't know, we haven't got anyone. And that's what should be happening rather than what was happening before. Absolutely right. Duvet dancer, we like that. Do you dance on the duvet? Do you get on the bed and bounce up and down and dance? And I'd like to know. When's the next lad coming from Slavia Prague? Okay. So the other one, this lad, I've been educated, is Sparta Prague. It's like the difference between Manchester United and Manchester City. So I don't know when we get another Slavia Prague player, but I want the Sparta Prague player. If that, I think, of course, makes sense, doesn't it? Sign a good striker, go for top 4. That's next level. That's what GSB promised. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, mate. Even I've given up on Vinay. Even I've given up on next. Oh, blimey, I'm saying the same position too long. Even I've given up on next level in that sense. But I do think one more fast striker and the difference that getting rid of Haller and bringing someone more suited to the team brings in. Is it next level? No, but I do think it might make the difference between 10th and 8th or something like that, and I'm all for that because it's more wins. I'm about enjoying the games. Do I remember Shevchenko? Yeah, do you know what? Funny enough, actually, Harry. Do you know Harry had Shevchenko on loan? Not on loan, on trial at West Ham before he became the Shevchenko. Like the world-class Shevchenko. No, okay, I'm behind in the chat. Actually, I'd say apologies for all that. Did you hear Gonzo Snodgrass's song? I had to fast forward. That's not very good, Neil. That's it. Neil said to me, don't give up the day job. I already have. There is no day job. He said, don't sing again. I will sing again, Neil. I will sing again. Don't worry about that. Someone's saying about Bamford. Okay, so Gonzo, search the Tenet explanation video on YouTube and make more sense. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Thank you for the tip. If I have to go and watch a video to explain a film that I've just watched, I don't want to know. But the fact that there is a video out there explaining Tenet would suggest that I'm probably not on my own and not understanding it. And I'm more than happy with that. Ray Borum, Raymondo's in the chat. He likes Back to the Future, which is fine. Apparently, sorry, Phil from Kent, who is obviously not the other Kent, says, not Clark Kent, obviously, says apparently Souček has recommended a striker. Yeah, that was the guy that I was just speaking about a minute ago, which is Adam Hlosek. Graham Miller said, I always thought Haller had smoked a joint before each case of his mate back and chill. Maybe that was the answer. Maybe it was just a little bit too chilled out. Haller fell because he wasn't what Pellegrini wanted. We spent the whole of the transfer to chasing Maxi Gomez. I'm not sure about what he wanted, but we did spend the whole of the window chasing Maxi Gomez, who I've got to say also looked dog slow. He looked dog slow. How did he go? He went to Valencia, didn't he? Is he still scoring? I wonder. Right. What else was there? Oh, I was going to tell you about Nando's, wasn't I? So anyway, I did the song, and I put it on YouTube, and I put it on Twitter as well. And I renamed myself on Twitter Elton Gonzo. Now, at the same time, in fact, I'll try and show you the picture here, right? So I had a Nando's the other day, right? Let me get the gallery up. I'll show you a picture. I had a Nando's the other day. I jest you not, right? Now this is the small kids version, but that is how many chips. Can you see that? Were in the box. I'm serious. I hadn't doctored that or anything. That's how many chips are in the box at Nando's, right? So I just did this. I did this tweet, right? Hold on. I'll try and get a whole. There's better technology. Other people do it more because you meant to bring screen. I'll just try and do it by showing you my phone, right? So anyway, I basically put this thing up, right, saying, "Come on, Nando's. This is disgusting. Not many chips here." And Nando's. I don't know if you can see that. Nando's followed me, right? So Nando's followed me, and they sent me a message saying, "We're really sorry about all of this." But I remember at this time, because of the Elton John song, I've changed my name to Elton, right? And I just found it funny anyway. So Nando's got back in touch with me and said, "Have you got a Nando's card?" I said, "Yes." They said, "Look, we've put some credits on your Nando's card. We're sorry about the chips." And I said, "Look, it's all very well giving me some extra chicken or whatever, but you need to sort it out because it's the second time it's happened. It's no good just if it's no good you sorting me out and then the next person that orders chips gets 3 chips. You need to have a word with a branch." So they said, "All right." So anyway, they sent me a message back, and basically they said they're going to give that information back to them. And this is from Nando's. It just made me laugh. Nando's actually think my name is Elton, which I quite liked. So there you go. So apparently all the colour's gone in them. Anyway, yeah, apparently they're taking it very, very seriously. So there we go. That's the Nando's story. Hope you enjoyed that. Right. Where are we? Let's go with a few more. What we've got. Right, we'll take it up to the hour mark, 53 minutes. We'll stop on the hour, I believe. It is a Sparrows portion, by the way, whoever said that. Sorry, it sort of disappeared. Duvet Dancer, good song. Thank you very much, Duvet. I will be doing. Might go do a bit of Tom Jones next. Neil's looking forward to that. I know. Adama Traore would be a great signing. Yes. Oh, yes, he would. Have you seen how Sociedad transformed the stadium? It was similar to ours. I haven't actually. There you go. Sketch didn't like Tenet either. Compared to Inception, it was difficult to follow. Did I really get Inception? I don't know. Maybe I'm just thick. I think I'm thick. It wasn't even enough. Mixie, it's not even enough for a chip butty. It wasn't really, was it? And do you know what the thing was on that? We got the other portion. I was meant to have the piri chips, which is meant to be covered in spices and piri sauce. It didn't have any on it. And neither did my wife's. So there we go. All over it was a bad experience. But I said to him in the chat, I said, to be fair, you're only doing this because I've made a fuss of it on Twitter and there's a few people following me. If someone's on there with 5 followers, right, on Twitter, and they complain to you about your chips, I bet you're doing nothing for them. I said, so you need to sort it. I need to sort it out with a branch. Do you know what I mean? I'll take Traore or Dembele about now. Any Dembele? Any Dembele, Charlie? I've got to be honest with you, I've got a confession to make. I don't really like that Dembele. It just sort of, the whole thing, ran away with me, and the Dembele and the whole Dembeleisms, and the compendium of Dembele's and the hamper of Dembele's, and I got quite a lot of fun talking about Dembele's, but actually I would rather a Traore than a Dembele. All right, just so as we're clear on that, by the way. I'm talking about the one at Lyon here, right? I'm obsessed with pace. I don't think he's quite fast enough. Adama Traore, Rapidos. He's a different player. Rapidos. Actually, it sounds. Anyway, doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter. They gave you an extra chip for free. I've not seen. Apparently, I don't know if you can log on to a Nando's card. I've not seen what they've given me. Imagine if it's just a portion of chips. If they do that, I'm going to make a song about Nando's, and I'm going to feature the footage in it. There you go. They won't like that. They won't like that very much. They sent me a message saying we assumed, because it was getting a little bit of traffic and stuff like that. And somebody had said maybe you should do a song about Nando's. And they said to me, well, we assume this issue is now closed, which was basically them saying you're not going to sing about us or do anything, are you? I'll have a look. Right, Traore and Antonio up front. Yeah, it would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? It would be good fun as well. I watched. There you go. I'm going to say something that's going to annoy people now. I watched, this is from Phil McDonald. He said, I watched a video explaining the ending of The Sopranos. I watched the first 3 episodes of Sopranos. I didn't like it, which I know is sacrilege. People love their Sopranos. People are mad about The Sopranos. I didn't like it. There you go. Martin, it took him the whole entire movie to understand Tenet. But only right at the end. I must again make another confession. I did fall asleep 3 times during Tenet, which I'm not blaming on myself or the new cushion at the back of the sofa, which is nice for me neck. I spent the last 6 weeks with really sort of bad shoulder and neck. So I've got a new cushion. I was like, it just makes me fall asleep, which is lovely. But I'll blame it on the film being so crap is why I fell asleep rather than the cushion. Hello, Martin. Late to the party, mate. Late to the party. Everton are winning 1-0. Good for them. Good. Oh, is it Sigurdsson that scored? What I said at the start of the video. Season 5 of The Expanse. The Expanse. Hold on. Let's have a look. The Expanse television series. The Expanse. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Maybe I'll give that a watch. I do like a bit of sci-fi. I've got to be honest with you. Gio doesn't like his sci-fi. I like a bit of sci-fi. Never heard of it. Search up Real Sociedad Stadium. What now? We're going to struggle. We've only got 2 minutes left. Let's have a look. I might extend it slightly. Real Sociedad Stadium. Images. I'll just click on images, shall I? Abs the dabs. Oh, I can see it before with the yeah. Okay, it looks nothing like it, does it? Yeah, it doesn't actually even look like it used to have a track. Yeah, okay, fair point. Yeah, it looks good. It does look very, very good. Yeah, fair point. Right. Gonzo, okay, one-legged Steve-O. Let's hold on, Steve-O, my old son. Let's have a look. Phil Maccock's in the house, by the way. What happens to getting our comments up on the screen? I'll do that next time. It's a little bit technical for me, which is why I'm flashing my phone up and showing you pictures on there. Next time, my friend, I wasn't sure that it would work with this, and I needed to get it done quickly. And I didn't have ages to set up. Ever watched The Wire? Yes, I did watch The Wire. I quite liked the first or second series. I think then it lost its way. I watched it after. I watched it quite late, so by the time I watched it, Idris Elba was quite a big actor, so I was a bit shocked that. Actually, I can't say that. Somebody might watch right. Can't do spoilers. Anyway, I'm not going to say anymore. Real sausage dad, says James. Okay, couple more things. Sorry, one-legged Steve. I said, Gonzo, don't you worry. Hlossek will be put into the under 21s and never seen again. I tell you what, not if we spend 20 million on him, he won't, mate. A Farmer Chris says, I'm not really a fan of American TV. Definitely prefer UK dramas. So do I. But Netflix are kicking out some good stuff. Yeah, I do tend to prefer. Do you ever see that one, The Missing, with James Nesbitt? Oh wow, that was something. Oh, Gangs of London. Oh, that's a bit good as well. Save Me is brilliant. I like that actor. I can't think of his name. He was in Walking Dead and he was in Snatch as well. Very good. Don't watch it, Gonzo. It'll make you sick. What'll make me sick? What, the old, whatever it was called, the Expanse? I don't want anything to make me sick. Did I hear? Hold on, where's it gone? You lot typed too quick. Did you hear that? Pee Wee Herman. Who's Pee Wee Herman? Who on earth is Pee Wee Herman? I'm very sad news. Are you? He's just Pee Wee Herman. Images Pee Wee Herman. Oh, he's in a film that my children watch. I won't tell them. Yeah, he's in a film that my children watch. I can't even think. I don't even. I didn't know that. Breaking Bad was excellent. Ivan Toney putting a solid performance against Tottenham. It's the striker that they replaced Watkins with, isn't it? Mixie says, Gonzo, first few episodes is a bit slow. I don't mind that, actually, in a lot of things, apart from The Sopranos. I don't mind seeing something through. Real saucy dad. Have you seen The Mandalorian? Yeah, that's a long. I'm not sure this is the place for it. Really, Ro. Yeah, I have. I'm into the second season of it. But I've got to say, it's hard work. It's hard work. I watched Rogue One again the other day. That's so good. That's so bloody good. Pipeless Car says, Gonzo, have you seen The Silent Library? And no, I haven't heard about it either. That was a joke. Where are we? Yeah, look, I'm aware people are raving about The Mandalorian. And I'm trying. Henry Park says, look who it is. Gonzo is live again. I am not for much longer, though, Henry. We're going to skedaddle in a minute. Vikings on Prime. I didn't get on with Vikings, mate, to be perfectly honest with you. Again, I watched the first 2 series of it. Yeah. Ragnar Lothbrok. That was his name, wasn't it? I do, funny enough, I'll tell you what I watch a lot of, and I still watch it, and it's one of my favourite things on TV, is Curb Your Enthusiasm. I sort of watch them over and over again. I just love it, absolutely love it. The Punisher, okay, I watched the first 3 of The Punisher and couldn't really get on with it. The Punisher. There you go. That's what I wanted him to say. The Punisher. I thought the trailer was always better than the actual Punisher itself. Where else we got? A robe or more. Jello JC said, morning, Gons. Hold on. You're typing quick again. You lot slow down. Gonzo, do you like Top Gear? Yeah, I used to like Top Gear. Obviously, it stopped, and then I'm not mad on cars. I've got to be honest with you. I don't know, mad. I like being in them when it's raining and stuff like that, and I like not walking to places. But I don't know a lot about cars. I can tell you the difference between an Astra and a Focus and things like that. I don't mean I know nothing, but I don't sort of lust over cars. I don't. Oh yeah, a Bugatti and this, that, and the other. So I don't. No, I'm not particularly interested whether a Bugatti is faster than a Ferrari or faster than a Porsche or this, that, and the other. I do appreciate a nice car, and I've even had 2 half decent cars or 3 in my time. But they were all second hand because I wouldn't be able to afford them. No, but I quite like it when they do the journeys and stuff like that. So I started watching one because they do the Grand Tour now, don't they? So I started watching one where they were in some boats. Where were they? I think they might have been in Cambodia or so. I quite like those. I quite like those ones because I do think they are entertaining. The actual review of when they review the latest Volkswagen Golf, I don't really care, to be perfectly honest with you. Are you waiting for Stranger Things season 4? Yeah, I think we're waiting for a little while. I mean, just a great show, really, isn't it? Peter Darlow says Rogue One is the best in the saga. Yeah, I mean, it's just very, very, very good. Have I seen The Boys? The Boys. I tell you what, I don't know what The Boys is. Anyone seen Cherry Tree Lane? Whoa, that's a shocker, by the way. I'll tell you a good film. We're talking about English film now. Ill Manners. Ill Manners. The Boys is a television series. The Boys is a television series. Oh no. 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 Who said that? Where are you? Robert. Robert, he's got a cape on. They've got capes on. No, I've just seen no. I can't. I won't. I cannot. They're just a picture of what's she wearing. I wish I was on the other softwares. I'd share the screen with you. We'll do that. We'll do that one day next week. We'll have a non-football. Myself and Gio are doing this on Patreon. We've got something to do on there, but I can't. I can't watch that. Rogue One. So we've done that. Yet Stranger Things. We loved that. I don't know what that's two of you talking with each other. I don't know what you're saying there. Enjoy yourself and stop talking smack about the Mandalorian. I'm not talking smack about it. I'm not talking smack. I haven't said anything about it. I said it's probably a whole video in itself. I'm not said anything at all. I'm into the second season of it. Is what I'm saying. Anyway. I've got it right. How do we say that? Let's. Kyriakos says, I love Curb. It's brilliant. The Boys is my kind of evening. Hold on, what have I got? See, that is, give me something. Give it a chance, Gonzo. What have I got to give a chance? What have I got to give a chance to? We've talked about so many things. Watch a trailer for The Boys. Well, not now, obviously. Watch a trailer for The Boys. You want me to watch it? Okay, I'll watch a trailer for The Boys, Henry. And Peter say, I must. Okay, well, it's quite a... Okay, all right, fair enough. I will watch a trailer for The Boys. James Gunn, his favourite place in Canterbury is called the Cherry Tree. Yeah, I mean, Cherry Tree Lane is a play on it's the road in Mary Poppins, isn't it? Cherry Tree Lane, but this Cherry Tree is nothing like Mary Poppins. I can tell you. Gonzo, you seriously need to watch The Boys on Prime Video. I got older. I know you can see. You see that? Look at that. This amazing. All the things, by the way. Very gory and very sweary. I don't know what one we're talking about. We're talking about Sopranos still, or is that superheroes one? Everyone's saying trust us, Gonzo. It's one of the best things on TV at the moment. What, this Boys thing, is it? Harry says, what do you reckon we sign nobody this winter? Harry, unfortunately, this is a part of the show we've almost drifted off to West Ham, which one of the viewers have dropped, but the juicy stuff is here. We will sign someone. I don't believe that for a second. The Boys is an adult superhero show, cynical and dark. Okay. All right. I will give the trailer a go at least. It's Gonzo's alter ego from the prequel dimension. Eddie's saying you'd love The Boys. Hold on a second. Hold on. Crikey, he's going too quick, you lot. this is crazy. I do appreciate you all being I do appreciate you all being in the chat, but it didn't have to move quick. Okay, killing the ones with the capes on, right. I don't know who Carl Urban is. Urban. The boy's superpowers used for evil. Okay, all right, you're winning me over here. You're winning me over. Have you? I'll tell you what. I saw it the other day advertised. I haven't seen it in a while. I know it's different. It's like Wolf Creek, not the number 2 and number 3. Wolf Creek. That's a good film, by the way. That is a good film. Abs the Dabs. Do you know any Arabs that can buy West Ham? I don't. I think if they would have done, they would have done it already. They would have done it, wouldn't they? I don't know them. I'm not saying if I look. I'll tell you what. If I knew a billionaire Arab, I'd have probably said, "Oi, my microphone's broken. This one's broken, so I'm using this one now." And even this one has only got 2 legs. It's meant to have 3 legs. Can you see where it snaps off? I'll probably be sorting out the microphone, getting the shed sorted out. I probably wouldn't be worried about how many chips I get in my Nando's box. I'll be saying, "Buy me a Nando's." Then I might no. Sorry. Have you seen The Human Centipede? No, and I wouldn't. I do not like all that stuff. I watched one. What's the geezer's name? They did loads of them. Jigsaw. What are those films called? Saw. No. I saw the first one of them. No. Not for me at all. Star Trek Discoveries. I like Star Trek. It's excuse me, that's my stomach. I do apologise. I've got to go have something away. Yeah, look, they've called a lady Michael Burnham, which is the thing. But I do like my Star Trek. It just got a little bit too much. Believe it or not, I like the old Voyager and stuff like that. But I haven't watched it in years, to be fair. It's probably very dated. It's probably aged very poorly, that. Gonzo, watch whatever you like. You've got fantastic taste as it is. I mentioned Ozark earlier. Ozark, very, very good, by the way. Look forward to another one of those. What's Buster Jerry says, what's the best family-friendly show with no naughtiness? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I should know. We watch films. We do watch films. We watch a lot of films. I'm sure everyone does. Everyone's stuck at home, aren't they? Or watching a lot of films. In terms of a series and a show that we'll watch, it is more films. I mean, the kids have enjoyed Stranger Things, but the very little one can't watch it because it would scare the whatsits out of her. But funny enough, because we got the pinball machine there, which got a Demogorgon on it. You got to play. Basically, this flat comes down and it reveals a Demogorgon. You've got to basically hit the pinballs into the Demogorgon. So she knows what a Demogorgon is, but we're pretty sure it's going to frighten the hell out of her if she watches it on the telly. So yeah, we've not. It's not really family friendly in that sense. There's a proper good news series on Netflix called Friends. My 13-year-old daughter has just finished watching Friends. It has been a nightmare. You got to remember, I was around when Friends was out the first time, obviously, and my girlfriend at the time used to watch it all the time. So I have seen Friends. So to have to watch it again, I don't have to watch it, but it's on. Do you know what I mean? Oh, fortunately, we got to the last episode. She said to me, "Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do." She said, "I feel sad that it's ended as a series. What am I gonna do?" I thought, get him. Nice dad, mate. You see. Do you know Friends is Netflix's top yielding series for money? They made all this new stuff. Friends makes Netflix the most money. Funny, isn't it? Even though they never made it. The Orville. That's a bird that sits on Keith Harris's arm. 40 Towers. I mean, who could not like Manuel in 40 Towers? What's it? Andrew Sachs, isn't it? Andrew Sachs. Oh, I love all of that stuff. I love John Cleese. Absolutely brilliant. Prunella Scales in it is fantastic. Blackadder is probably my favourite of all the comedies, but I mean, 40 Towers is brilliant. It's funny actually. I was going to say modern. You know, The Office isn't modern. It's 20 years old now, but it was the best thing that they've been in years. The Office was was wonderful. I'm not sure how much I openly laugh at it. I think I cringe, but it's absolutely brilliant. Okay, Sketch wants me to watch The Boys as. Oh, all right, I will. I will watch The Boys. All right, I will do it. All right, I will do it. You lovely people. Is there a name for people who try and impose their TV viewing habits on everyone else? Yes, they're called West Ham fans who subscribe to Hammer's Chat. That's what those people are called. And I will give that a go because I am looking for something else. Everton won. Everton won. Rotherham won. That's that. I've got no more results. Those are the classified results. I've no more results to read out. Good morning from Detroit, boys. Oh, sorry. Good morning from Detroit. Boys, season 1 was dark but good. Ted Lasso on the Apple. I don't know. Okay. Apple Plus is obviously something else you can watch. I've been recommended. He's been recommended this show for the COVID blues. He's got, which is Ted Lasso. I'm not even sure my little magic box has got Apple Plus on it. What else we got here? Industry on the BBC. Not seen that. Don't even know. I guess it's all going so fast. Andy's never watched Friends. You're all right there. Wouldn't be in a rush, Andy. It's very. Who would be my choice at number 1 in centre midfield, Gonzo? I'll tell you what, I'd be approaching Tottenham for Ndombele, saying you wasted your money there. Give him to us. Currently, I've got a Scooby who's available, good or fit. Pipe Patrol in 2021. So that's my stomach. If you like Curb, you can't be liking Friends. I didn't say I liked Friends. I said I did. I said I was pleased when it ended. Oh, mate, you're probably not talking to me, are you? To be perfectly honest with you. Robert, Friends I found very amusing. Only Fools and Horses beats the granny out. They're not two you'd compare, are they? Friends and Only Fools and Horses. They're not the same people. I can't find anything on Netflix. Just watch Andy Carroll's overhead kick and repeat for 2 hours. James also likes Blackadder, which is good. Manuel El Fornicador, which is not a TV series, of course. That is Manuel El Fornicador is what would happen if Pablo Fornals and who's the other, Manuel Lanzini had a baby. Maybe. James says Friends is great if you want to disengage the old brain and just watch something easy. It's not, though, because it goes on for years and years and years, and one after the other and after the other. And 5 weeks later, I'm going in there. My daughter's name's Chloe. I'm saying, Chloe, are you still watching Friends? And she was not anymore. She's not. She's got to find something else now. Right, I'm going to wrap this up now. I am starving, my old lovelies. I am absolutely starving. Peaky Blinders is excellent, by the way. It's so hard. Anyway, I've got to go. The trouble is I find it so hard to end these streams once I start talking. Although Phil Kent says Saw films are excellent. The whole series linked together. I'm not missing out. It's nastiness. Gory nastiness. Andy Walsh said, cheers, Elton. You are very welcome. Very, very welcome. Andy, thanks for keeping an eye on this motley crew. They're so well behaved. You've got nothing to do. You're the old moderators here, James and Raymondo and Andy. It's nothing to do. Everyone's very nice, aren't they? Remember, don't let the Pringles touch your nose. Is that an Elton John song? Absolutely. I'm looking pretty beautiful with the old nose today. It's almost gone, the blemish, I must say. Give us a song before you go. Goodbye, Robert Snodgrass. That's all you're getting for today. Be good. Stay safe. Please do stay safe. It's mental out there, by the way. The news, if you watch the news at the moment, it's mental. And I mean that. Do bloody take care of yourself, all right? Wash your hands and your dinkles and everything else and any other bits that you might have. Do that anyway. Be careful. If someone sneezes around you, hold your breath. Not until you die. No. See, this is where you get the good COVID tips. Pete Fountain wants a song for Haller. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, look, we'll do another song at some point. They're quite labour intensive, and I've got I've got a little issue. I am I'm on eBay. I'm on eBay at the moment. I'm on eBay. Waiting for a desperate person who wants to sell their microphone. Listen, see you all later. Thanks for joining in. Take care. Speak to you soon. See you tomorrow. Later on today, myself and Gio are up. We're gonna preview the stock. I was gonna say the Scunthorpe game. There's no Scunthorpe. I'm gonna research Stockport. I'm gonna find out some things about Stockport. Ready for that. Tune in later on tonight. See you later. Thank you very much indeed. Goodbye.